something tells me Alien is more likely to do it. Only because Cram can take a beating. Woo!
The Roam or EXP, even if it is an off-kilter meta pick at that time.
But that's going to depend. Yes, it is an off meta pick. It is situational. It's highly dependent on, first of all, what exactly are you trying to stop? Secondly, are you able to come into range? Because half the problem is just gap closing most of the time. You don't want to always have to waste your flicker just to make something happen.
In Turkey, Ruby XP is a thing. Luckily, SRG Cram plays a solid Ruby in the XP too.
Oh yeah, wait.
Even Yums.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was one of the picks that led them to victory in MC 2024. Their flexibility on the Ruby. Let's see if that pick will pop up. Hylos gets picked, but again, the Bruno Beatrix trade is active.
Oh man.
Oh, but SRG did also show a Granger yesterday, so I would have taken against, you know, Bruno Beatrix, Granger, I feel like
Still open.
still very up in the air for both of them.
Yep. Neither want to confirm.
Yeah, this one's really, really tough because once high loss comes up, you think about Granger, you think about Bruno. As soon as you get hit by the glorious pathway, you're just in line of it. You have to use a movement ability to get out. If not, you're just too slow. You're gonna get run down really, really quick.
Rondo out, slide tackle back.
I wonder if SRG would consider banning out the Aurora, then taking it away from Rosa, putting it into Stormy's hands. Bruno Joe. And you hear the crowd roar as Yums gets his Joe.
High prio picks already. Powerful double pick swing for SRG on red.
Don't forget that this is still a flex pick. This could easily fall into the hands of Cramp. It could easily fall into the hands of Yums. It could go anywhere for in all intents and purposes. Now, Ulfhednar is going to see this, and they need to figure out a response. Number one, can they find a winning matchup? If not, look for at least a way to play around the Bruno like we mentioned before.
Now, in the next two picks for Ulfhednar, teams have been starting to show Beatrix pop up a little bit more often here. The Thorn Queen can lock in the pick right now, but there's the Hayabusa, one of the things that we theorized. And wait, I haven't seen you in a while, Harith.
We haven't seen a Harith ran into a Bruno often.
Yeah, because usually they take the trade, one is banned.
Yep.
But wow, getting your core is super early for Ulfhednar. They're looking at the... Okay, they're maximizing the flex of the high loss. Oh, and they want to set up Rosa for success.
Technically, these are not all their cores. It's possible that Rosa also picks up a high damage mage, and they go from there.
Harith mid?
I think I would rather the Farsa come through before you go Harith mid.
I agree. I was thinking along the line.
Oh, that's right. I thought that's what you were going for because you said high damage core. Okay, yeah. No, Farsa, you know, I agree. Farsa did the Bruno perfect.
Yes.
I mean, it sounds perfect, but it depends on what this third pick is going to be, right?
If it's got the Tarkali.
If it's got the Kali, not even got the Kali, even if an assassin shows up, right? It begs a lot of the questions. Yes, there we go. The Lo Yi was the only other substantial pick that they could have gone for to create plays across the map, not caring whether or not you pick the Farsa. Yes, you have that artillery, but as long as we have tempo, that is going to be the name of the game.
Well, Ulfhednar have a very mean mid lane force, Lo Yi, that they show up. That's one of the reasons why they dominated the wild card. So I wouldn't take it against them to know how to play around it and to consider. But I wonder if this means that Ulfhednar would want to consider a lineup that might do well better in the defense. You know, end up picking up something like maybe an Edith for Alien later on, and put this high loss in the roam instead. But thinking about it, the high loss in the roam might actually struggle up against Lo Yi just a little bit.
Just a little bit, but as long as you clear that wave and take minimal damage, usually it's all right. SRG, very smart plan of trying to pinch down on that mid laner, on the mid laners to ensure, hey, make sure we can, if anything, give him a Valentina, you know, bare bones, something that is punishable, something that cannot just face check bushes.
Yeah, right now the Valentina's not picking up much.
Yeah.
Very weird to play into a Lo Yi, try to steal that diversion. You're wasting so many steps between step 1 and 2 that your opponent's going to be way ahead. If your opponents are SRG, they're not going to let you breathe. Steal away a Way of the Dragon, also not worth it. So I'm liking where you're thinking with this, Gideon. I'm liking how you're putting yourself in Coach Arcadia's shoes and saying, we dare you to pick the Valentina.
Ooh, Ling ban? Okay, this might open up some more options. Are there any other assassins that we should be worried about? I mean, Suyo is already gone. Hayabusa has already been taken. Joy probably is like the only other assassin I can think of off the top of my head.
Joy Nolan.
No, Joy or Nolan.
Yeah, in terms of like the options, but I feel like they already have a good amount of physical on the Bruno. They don't need to pair a Bruno and a Nolan together. Oh wait, you know what? I'm not gonna hate on that idea. That actually sounds pretty devastating.
Good burst.
Yeah, Nolan, Bruno, and then you have the Lo Yi as well. Ooh, wait, that's spicy. I like
So
it.
they should ban the Nolan. Is that what you're saying? Because if they ban the Joy, they allow for that Nolan.
Yeah. Either or. So it'll be up to them to decide like which one they're more willing to let through.
Oh, this is very interesting. This is very interesting. They want to set up for an EXP pick here. But what exactly would be a good EXP pick? If you're getting rid of CC in particular, I'm thinking of like potential tanks that could go into the EXP lane. I'm guessing Gato Gacha, but even then, there are still counter picks in Glue. There's still counter picks in even Phovius as well, all of which do well with each other. I was hoping for either a Glue or even a Phovius ban, but then when you are on that red side, you do have that first pick, but you have to show that first ban initially to allow blue side to respond.
Are they going to hold on to the Cho Flex? or will they finally reveal the jungle?
Tough to say.
That's red 4. That's where SRG resumes the draft.
Oh, I feel like that's them setting up for Farce already. When you have the Ling band, you have the Kali band, you picked up Hayabusa 3rd.
And they'll see what the jungler is if it can cut through the lane, cut through the formation.
Yep. So right now, the question is, who gets priority for that last pick? Is it going to be EXP or is it going to be jungle? Personally, for me, I think leaving EXP for that final pick is going to give a significant advantage. Whoever locks in the other, you will find a counter pick for it, and at least utilize your flex pick better.
Yeah, more so because you know that this is just a Joy or a Nolan.
Exactly.
One or the other. If it's neither of those two,
It's Fredrin.
paint the surprise. Would you Fredrin here?
I mean, I'm waiting for the last 2 picks, but it should be okay. Oh,
Protect the jungler.
Okay. Shows foe. Ulfhednar can go for glue straight off the bat here. Oh, is that a good idea? I feel like if SRG is willing to say, hey, Cram, you're going to have to just eat dirt for a little bit, you know? The laning phase is going to be difficult, but later in the game you're going to be more relevant, especially with something like Harith and even the Hayabusa, which can proc your passive very, very often.
I don't know why. Something about that. Why can I not stop thinking about the Fredrin? I don't know why.
For SRG?
Yeah. I mean, like, the Phobios needs a little bit more help fronting.
Was all of last year not enough for you?
Hey.
What was it in your head?
It's been 3 years now.
What was it in Tsutsuji's in your head?
Last 2 picks.
Oh yeah, it is Farce, I see.
All right, nice. But they also go for the Tigreal, which is interesting because now team fighting, especially for Apex 47, this is one of his more consistent heroes, right? He doesn't usually miss those implosions.
I don't know. My head keeps going to utility, even though they do need the damage.
Let her joy.
But something about the BTK approach of, hey, let's pick up a utility jungler like a Fred or maybe even a Nakai, so that their pickoff style isn't, or setup, doesn't really have a lot to set up to into pickoff. You'll survive it, and then you set up the Bruno, the Loyi. But yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be Nolan or Joy, you know.
Honestly, it's really, really tough, right? Any assassin coming into the Tigreal is already a problem. You don't have a guaranteed way of canceling out the Farsa by yourself, but they lock in the Fredrin at the very end.
Is that enough damage?
I'm not sure.
That's the problem, though.
To bring you this matchup,
There's micro-heavy users, but again, I have to agree with the panel. Is the damage from the Giants, from SRG, gonna be enough, though, to take on Ulfhednar?
That's a question that we are going to find out as we jump into the Land of Dawn. It's SRG and Ulfhednar in this best of 1. Both teams still looking for that victory within the Swiss stage. We'll see if they're able to pull through. And this time around, too, quite a bit of contrast, you know, with the 2 lineups that we're looking at. And maybe this is going to be it because the home crowd is here. They're locked and loaded and ready to watch SRG hopefully bring a victory because we know that they need it. And you know, when we look at this and we saw the stats, so it was a good lengthy discussion from the panel, and I really appreciated it because they broke a lot of things down. And even with that interesting fun fact, you know, about
Rosa.
Just Rosa, the amount of, was it average damage?
Highest average damage per minute
In
for
30
the
M-Series
whole
games?
MC. 30 plus.
Wow.
30 plus.
Not only that, but this is one of the signature heroes of Rosa. So, you know, gets the Farsa, so definitely going to be doing the damage here, and I think that's why a lot of us, whoa, TNT, whoa! Taken! Goodbye, purple buff.
Okay, so TNZ with a huge purple buff steal up against SRG. And right now, if you're Ulfhednar, you really want to capitalize on this. Again, you have a Harith going up against a Bruno. Usually we don't see this, but Kenzie goes in with a wee shadow kill, gonna bring down Yumes. And a very aggressive TNZ.
Hey, this is a Hayabusa that we're talking about, and you know what I mean? It almost feels bad because when you think about the actual matchup, let's just say, you know, a Hayabusa versus a Fredrin, like Fredrin himself, he's just going to be watching as the shadows are going in and out and shadow kill, and all he can do is really just kind of tank it up and hope that the team doesn't get whittled down too quickly. But already with an early kill like that, obviously Ulfhednar, a little bit of momentum building up into this first turtle. They're going to be setting themselves up. I mean, think about all that's happened. You know, it is definitely going to delay SRG from getting to the point where they want to. You still have that orange buff being worked on, and look at this, Apex 47 gives that information over. So Ulfhednar will be the ones to go ahead and start this up, but it looks like they're still going to rotate down here, possibly for that fight. That level obviously showing in this case TNZ, you know.
2 levels.
Level 6 already.
2
but
levels.
Sakai's, he doesn't care. He'll start up the turtle anyway and hold things together. It looks like they're going to take the calm and calculated approach.
Okay. They want to go to force out Glorious Pathway onto the back line, onto Stormy, but look at the Infernal Pursuit coming in from Cram, wanting to zone it, but here comes Rosa though. She's trying to deal out the damage, and Rosa's gonna get the turtle away from SRG. Another implosion play will pursue there as they bring down Stormy. Now Yums and Sekai's has to walk away as Cram trying to soak up the damage and save.
Apex! What a play! He just saved him.
A sacrificial play for Cram. But again, there was no trade for SRG because Rosa with the feathered airstrike gets the turtle, and again TNZ takes down Sekai's.
You know what? Well, SRG gets a kill at least out of all that, but man, they lost so much. Ulfhednar is locked in.
Oh, and they're not even done. They want to go for Yums once again. Origi Shadow Kill paired up with the feathered airstrike. Rosa and TNZ making quick work of Yums. And this isn't just any Yums here. This is a show that Yums is known to use. And now 0-2-0 start.
Oh man, like I'm a little bit flabbergasted at what's going on here. Ulfhednar, I knew that they wanted to go ahead and get the momentum going with a lineup like they brought to this game, but not expecting this. And it all started, I feel like, just with that purple buff steal, man.
Yeah.
It all started there.
The Quad Shadow entry, Retribution coming in from TNZ, and again they want to go for that initiation as they force out Stormy's flicker out, so another huge resource expended by the mid laner of SRG. 3.4k gold lead for Ulfhednar, 5-1. SRG wasn't expecting this.
Yeah, I don't think so here, Ingan, and part of that might be, maybe at this point, because they're falling quite a bit behind, in the grand scheme of things. This is a big gap to work against this early on, especially when you take in consideration you got a 3-level gap between the junglers.
The panel was mentioning a while ago, talking about the status of Ulfhednar, if they're still a dark horse. Looking at how they're playing right now, I'm pretty sure they are now officially contenders. Going up against a team like SRG, dominating in the early stages of the game, 3.7k gold lead, as Alien starts things off, trying to pull the turtle to their side.
They're going to go ahead and start things up. Again, advantage for Ulfhednar. Both gold laners still staying in their lane. It's going to be a 4v4.
Here comes Glorious Pathway once again. They want to start things off. Trying to zone out Sekai's here as Rosa hasn't casted yet his ultimate. Now 4,000 HP for this turtle. Yums goes in with a flicker, but it's gonna miss. Tenzi goes in with a Wiki Shadow Kill. It's gonna be Retribution battle, but Sekai's gets the turtle. Now the counter attack coming in from Selangor Red Giant. They want to go for more. The target is Apex 47. Energy Eruption. Appraiser's Wrath might be enough to bring down, but Crab goes in with the Infernal Pursuit. The answer of the Giant. Yums, okay, he's gonna connect with the Way of the Dragon, but here comes Sunshine to bring him down. They're not even done. Crab goes in, takes down the Thorn Queen. Stormy will fall down in the hands of Sunshine, but Innocent answers right back with a volley shot. TNZ, Alien, trying to zone out SRG and stop the onslaught of SRG.
Now we have a game on our hands as SRG rallies alongside the crowd here as they erupt. Man, what a turnaround. Great for them, but they still got work to do. Ulfhednar, though, they got checked. And I'm surprised even in that exchange with the turtle that SRG was actually able to go ahead and secure it. They took their time, they approached it, and despite the level gap between the junglers, Sekai's, he made it work. He still has a gap to work against, still 3 levels, but hey, that's what SRG needed to happen, and now it looks like they're gonna go ahead and take some of this momentum and try to cap out here on the top side. Zalman Force already gonna be used, but you can see the threat here. Ulfhednar's got to respect it.
Okay, so far, that SRG is not lacking damage. Innocent also has a Malefic gun right now, so in terms of range, in terms of positioning, Innocent can really fight back. And just looking at the gold lead that SRG caught up with, it was almost a 4k gold lead for Ulfhednar. Now it's down to 1.2k. You can feel that SRG is in control of the map. They had a huge turret takedown in the middle lane, exposing the jungle of TNZ. And again, I have to commend Yums for the turnaround, because even though he's 3-0-3-0 with the flicker play, although the Way of the Dragon didn't connect, it made TNZ preoccupied, went for the Wiki Shadow Kill. That's why Sekai's had a chance to steal the second turtle away from Ulfhednar.
Ulfhednar definitely got to stay in check here. You know, they're still technically, you know, at somewhat of an advantage, I guess you could say, until eventually Sakai's is even in levels or gets things even out. But look at the damage Innocent's even doing to Apex.
With a malefic gun, look at the, oh, Apex for a second goes in with an implosion, but he's gonna miss. He's gonna be taken down by Innocent. Here comes the Zapman Force with the Glorious Pathway, but the damage from SRG might just be enough, despite the Revitalize. A double kill for Innocent. SRG. You can hear the arena making noise. Because so far it looks like SRG is back to their championship form.
We're now starting up the Lord here. Talk about a supporting team. If Sakai struggles, hey, the rest of the team rallies up. And Innocent locked in definitely on the Bruno. We know Bruno wins games. Like, that's the stat right now so far throughout M6. And you can't let him get there because he's at the top of the gold standing. And so that's Lord secured. SRG taking that gold lead, diminishing it completely. And now they start to go ahead and march in with the momentum in their favor. Ulfhednar, they started strong, man. You know, they had the right idea. They got momentum in their favor for the early game, but then boom, all of a sudden, they find themselves on the back foot. And Ulfhednar has to adjust from this. They have to be able to play a little bit smarter on the approaches of the team fights.
And the scary thing is Stormy hasn't been using the diversion as much as we want him to, but despite all that, they have a 1.1k gold lead. Lord marching down bottom as Innocent will get a tier 2 turret up top, and here comes a clash. Sakai is right in the middle of everything, will be taken down, but a feathered airstrike coming in from Rosa. But SRG still standing strong. They know that they have the Lord. They can take out all outer turrets for SRG.
Good pick off there. Sakai's does go down. Still have to deal with this Lord, but I mean, look at this. There has to be an answer. Innocent just kind of sitting in the back, and he's doing enough damage himself. Quite intense amount of damage to deal with if you're Ulfhednar. They got to play with the fact that they have, you know, some of the range advantage, but this is also going to get a little bit more difficult for Apex 47 to find the implosion he's looking for until he's tanky enough. Because, like we saw earlier, you know, he was trying to find Innocent, trying to find anyone really to get an implosion on. He does have Flicker, but then he took too many shots. And you saw how quickly he was worked on. So these buffs are going to be taken at this point. Ulfhednar will have to just kind of fight for gold and XP. They're not out of the game. I mean, Sunshine's been doing pretty good. He's farmed up to where, you know, relatively a good point. He's got Stallium Scythe, Feather of Heaven, still working on his Holy Crystal, I believe. But he's not, you know, too crazy behind when it comes to Innocent. He's about 1,000 gold behind or so. And they got to catch up because some of those team fights, if they can think about it, if they get the implosion right later on towards the game, then they've got the tools to fight. But right now, Apex 47 in trouble again. Uh-oh.
Oh, Infernal Pursuit.
Whoa.
And Innocent delivering the final blow to bring down Apex 47. Rosa forced to use the feathered airstrike, but just look at the damage. It's almost non-existent. Crown just literally stood under the feathered airstrike, unbothered.
Oh, man. I don't know. At this point, when you're a tank like Tigreal and you're getting shredded down that fast, that does not feel good. You're left just wondering, what am I going to do? How am I going to set things up for my team? And like I said, Ulfhednar has to have a response, has to have an answer to that. And it might turn into the fact where Alien also has to step up, maybe in case of saving Apex 47 or even being able to start things up, because looking at the items, now that the next Lord is up, they've got a lot of work to do. You know, yes, the jungle is still in the advantage. You've got some minor gold advantage here for the mid lane, but ultimately, look at the gold difference, man. That is a massive lead right now for Innocent.
And now they're trying to deprive Ulfhednar of their purple buff, but they're not going to overextend again. This is the issue that SRG had yesterday. According to Coach Arcadia, there was some sort of discipline problem. But right now, SRG, even though the purple buff of Tenzi is really viable for them to get, they're not going to commit anything because there's a major objective up for grabs right now. It's the Lord, the second Lord, and they're wanting to secure this safely.
Okay, at this point, it's going to go for a reset or a soft one. They're going to start it up again. Ulfhednar, what are they going to do?
Glorious Pathway, the implosion is there! And Tenzi steals away the Lord from SRG. SRG is now mad. They want to go for the kill. Alien pops his Revitalize. The first man down is Apex 47. Yums with a beautiful kick, assisting them to the members of SRG to bring down Tenzi and Alien. 5 members of SRG are still here, but Ulfhednar, they got the Lord.
They got the Lord, but look at this, SRG should be able to clear these out pretty well. Again, Innocent, untouched, unbothered. Here with the team, Rosa drops down the feathered airstrike. They'll hold on to the base turrets for now. Lord still being worked on. Those waves.
Oh!
By Rosa.
Gets blasted out of the map.
Wow.
That's why Bruno wins. Get the Bruno plus the Malefic gun. The range, the damage is there, and on top of that, Apex 47, even if he has the flicker, he can't get to Innocent right now. Sunshine used to force to use the Salmon Force, but cannot get close enough to Innocent. Kenzie goes in with a weak shadow kill, but gets stunned out there. He has a quad shadow to go out. Whoa, SRG just on a rampage right now.
We got to do something about Bruno, man. Bruno, like teams, as they move forward through M6.
But there, there's a diversion play. Stormy gets away. And with that, they know that the implosion has been expended. So SRG, they can actually make a play, a huge play right now.
They'll make a play from it, but I don't know, man. Ulfhednar, oh, here it is.
Okay, here comes the energy eruption. Salmon Force is there, plus the Revitalize coming in from Ulfhednar, but SRG just dishing out the damage! Sunshine is gonna fall down! The next one is the Thorn Queen! Innocent working on Alien, gets the double! TNZ, Apex 47 just left there for themselves. SRG has the minions, and they can end this right now.
They're gonna be pushing it in again, mid-turret, the focus right now for SRG. Look at the damage on Apex. Can't even face the front right now against the Bruno. They're looking to close it out.
One Siege Minion, Apex 47, last effort with the implosion, gonna catch 4 plus the Sacred Hammer. Weak shadow kill coming in from Tenzi, but it's not gonna be enough as they're gonna get bursted down by the members of SRG. And just like that, SRG is back on track to their championship form.
This guy is not innocent, because right now, 9-0-4, what a game. What a just coming together as a team from SRG. It couldn't be untouched, just untouched, unbothered. And just great to see the adjustments that SRG had to make. Again, they were losing the early game. Ulfhednar had it, and it slipped out of their hands. Really tough to see them for Ulfhednar, and SRG needed that morale boost. What a performance here. We're going to be thrown over to the panel to break down this game and see what they have to say.
Really did. And I think, you know, there was a point in the game where Ulfhednar must group up together. They just don't have a choice here. And that was the big issue. Once you start grouping up and you're losing pressure, look at the attention being thrown just by Yums alone. Oh, hey, guess what? If you chase me, you get a free kill. But at the same time, they take mid-tier 1, and that compromises the position, especially for Hayabusa whenever he wants to take this purple buff.
Yeah, as we look at the MVP highlights here, I think also we could put it as simple as, well, Innocent, maybe just play the better lane in the Sunshine, outlaning him. I wouldn't call it as dominating. It was his tower that was broken first. It was Ulfhednar able to pierce the lane of the gold laner of SRG, but SRG, again, found the right timing to tell Innocent, start playing around us. Innocent, come here, join us in the fights, and that's why he was able to get the kills through the counter punishes that they dished out.
And that takes really high game IQ, really high game sense, chemistry and communications to trust in your team and say, yeah, you know what? I'm done with this lane. You guys need me. It's time to step on the clutch. It's time for us to be on the offense.
Everybody played a role in this game, right? Without one component, we probably wouldn't have seen the game kind of devolve into what it did. Even Stormy playing a pretty crucial role at converging, really punishing their opponents, overextending their leads beyond what was necessary, and then utilizing that resource to turn it into an equalizer against Ulfhednar.
It got to the point where it was so difficult for any of the frontliners of Ulfhednar to find any space. And it went back to the whole Lo Yi effect. Lo Yi likes it when the roamers that she's up against are slow.